Hello, hello, hello. It is Zena Krogodal, your American Dreammakers host. Welcome to our show today. And we have a lovely guest joining us today. And I cannot wait to introduce her. But first, let me play the intro video. Hello, I am back. Thank you again for being on American Dreammakers today. We have a lovely, lovely guest. It is Christel Antimisiaris. She is a highly accomplished and dedicated professional as a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. And with over 2 decades of experience, Christel has established herself as a thought leader and innovator in the field. Christel, hello, hello. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Me too. Me too.
Excited to be here. Yes, I'm excited to have you here. What does it look like outside your window? I'm just curious. Is it cloudy, sunny?
Yeah, it's kind of gray today, but it's warm because I was out this morning. And it's warm, but it's very gray and cloudy. It won't last. It'll burn off.
Yes, yeah. It will. It's kind of unusual because we usually have pretty sunny days around our town. So,
yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for you taking the time out of your busy schedule because I know you are a very busy gal. And I'm so glad that you are on our American Dreammaker show. Anybody that's watching this live, please share this out. Christel has a fantastic message, and I just want to make sure that she gets her wonderful message out. So please be sure to share. And if you're on here, go ahead and let us know that you're on here. We love to hear from you. So, Christel, without further ado, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from California, but I do have 3 children. My oldest is, gosh, how old is he now? 33. I always forget. And then, actually, he's 34. My youngest son is 32. And then my daughter will be 30 this next month. I have an autistic son. That's my youngest son. So that was challenging in the younger years, but that's why I love my business so much, because I could work it around all that stuff, everything I needed to do with him. So a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of speech therapy, school stuff. So those of you who've had special needs kids, you know, it can be very challenging. So, but totally blessed my life. He's totally blessed my life. Been building my business for 31 years, 5 state-to-state moves. My husband was active duty Air Force when we started. Now he's a pilot, but he started off as a navigator. So we moved around a lot, and that's why I love what I do so much, because I could take it with me. We have no territories. So taking it with me was a total blessing. So I love that part. And to be able to work it around my family. Now I get to watch my grandson. So it really does come all around. So I get to watch my grandson a couple of days a week, which totally wears me out. So if those of you know you have grandchildren, he's only 19 months old. So it's fun and I love it, but man, it wears me out. He's fun, full of energy, just like his dad, which I told my son, it's not fair because you wish your grandkids would be like their father, and I have to watch him now. So it's done twice again. So it wears me out, but I love what I do. Obviously I wouldn't do it for 31 years. So
that is quite a long time. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We've got some friends on here already, and yes, Christel is awesome, and you are a dynamic mom. Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Thank you. I try to be. It has its ups and downs, as you all know if you're moms. It has its ups and downs, mostly ups.
So 31 years of being Mary Kay, what made you decide to get started?
I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 children at the time. So my oldest was 3, and my youngest son was 1. So I didn't have my daughter yet. And my youngest son was the autistic child, and I knew I couldn't do daycare. I knew I didn't want to do daycare. So I knew that I needed something that I could work around them that's flexible. And I can do the homeroom mom stuff. I can do everything I need to do, to keep my family going, because my husband was gone 6 weeks at a time, being in the military at that time. So he would be gone 6 weeks, home 6 weeks. So that's why I started. I needed to keep my sanity. I needed an outlet.
Well, that makes sense. And so when you and your husband got married, he was in the military already?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was in the Air Force when we got married.
So you knew what you were signing up for, or was it a little surprise? Yeah. Okay.
The long TDYs came later. The long deployments came later because of the plane he was flying at the time. But you do what you have to do. You're in the Air Force. You don't get much of a choice. So you just make it work. And I made it work, and he made it work for, we've been married. I always forget, 38 years. 38 years. He's the one who remembers all this stuff. Like my philosophy is, well, it's not going to change the number. So doesn't
38 years. You must have got married as babies. Like you must have been really young.
I was 21 when we got married. So wow. we were both very young, but we only knew each other started dating in March, got married that next January.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we moved to northern Maine, where there was nothing, like in the middle of nowhere, Maine, like 20 minutes from the Canadian border, up, 50 below in the winter. The best thing we could have done, though, because it made us rely on each other. We had a lot of great friends.
Wow. That was quite far away. So where did you actually meet each other?
We met at Sacramento. My girlfriend was dating his roommate.
Okay.
And that's how we met. She goes, "You want to come meet my boyfriend?" I said, "Sure." We went to their apartment or condo. I think it was a condo at the time. And I met him, and I was dating someone else at the time, but we were dating other people. And then my husband had a girlfriend back home but they were dating other people. And he's like, "Well, I'll call you in 2 weeks. She's going to be here in 2 weeks. And then I'll call you and we'll go out." Okay. I didn't care. So yeah, then the rest is history. So
that's great. And it didn't take long for you to figure out that you wanted to spend the rest of your lives together. I mean,
yeah, totally a God thing. So, because our best friends in the military were strong Christians, and they helped us through. And yeah, so that was important. And my parents were Christians too. So totally a God thing that brought us together. And here we are. I mean, 38 years later, and we still actually like each other. So it's kind of fun.
What's the secret to that? 38 years and still like each other?
He's gone a lot. That's what he says, but because he's a pilot, so he's in and out. And I'm very independent and strong person. So that helps, but just that, compromise is huge. As you know, Zena, you're happily married. So compromise is huge. And putting God first is huge. And that's actually Mary Kay's philosophy: God first, family second, career third. And that's why I started my business, because of that reason.
I didn't realize that was Mary Kay's stance. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. To have that in their mission, sounds like.
Mm-hmm. That's our mission. Well, mission statement is enriching women's lives, and faith first, family second, career third. So
good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Glad that you could join us this morning. I see if you aren't a part of StreamYard, I guess your name doesn't show up. So if you could write just right now, if you can just type your names in after your comments, that would be great, so that we can kind of see who you are. But thank you so much for leaving such wonderful, encouraging comments. Christel is an amazing woman for sure. And some of you probably know her much longer than I have, but even just the short amount of time that I've known Christel, she is very inspirational and very, just very inspiring. Oh, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
So yeah, 38 years of marriage and a lot of moving around.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How do you manage, to wrap your mind around not staying in one place for too long and yet still manage a business the way you do?
I guess it was, it was my life, and I always loved where we were living. Thank you, Tandra. Tandra's one of my Mary Kay sisters. I love her. And I always loved where I was living, because that was my mindset. I can't, being depressed about it or being upset where you are is not going to change where you are. So I always wrap my mind around being happy where I was. I had my family, I had my husband, never had my immediate family, my mother, father, or my brothers near me. So I always had to make do with what I had. As far as building my business, it was a great way for me to meet a lot more new people, and build my business over and over again, which I have done. This was before the internet. This was before, you know, keeping your customers. When you moved, you kept some, but most of the time you gave them to other consultants in your area just so they would be well taken care of. Now with internet and online ordering and all that, it's much easier. And I have people all over the United States as customers in several states, but at that point you didn't. So you just start over again. So it made me get out of my comfort zone. I was a very shy person when I started Mary Kay, believe it or not, very shy, very quiet, didn't talk to strangers. And it made me open myself up to that possibility. Thank goodness, because I didn't want to be that way. I didn't like being that way. So I made myself change. So I stepped out of my comfort zone, stepped out of the box, and started meeting people. And I always had Mary Kay sisters wherever I moved, which was fun too. So
it's unbelievable, really.
yeah, it is. I was very shy. As you can ask our director, Tammy. She knows.
Well, and Mary Kay has been around for how long now? How long has the company been around?
We've been around 60 years. This is our 60th anniversary this year.
So 60 years. That's pretty phenomenal.
Privately owned business, owned by Mary Kay's family.
And started by a woman, which was very different.
Unusual.
60 years ago, correct?
1963, she went to the bank to get a loan to start this company, and they laughed her out of the bank. So she took all of her money and put it into this business and started it. Her and her son did it together.
What an amazing story. And how awesome is it that she was so determined that she invested everything she had. And I know of so many women who have been very empowered, and you being one of them, as you're telling us, that it really changed her life is what it sounds like.
It did.
And it's done that for many women.
I didn't wear any makeup either when I was started. I was a tomboy. I rode horses, had cattle, did 4-H, FFA, all that stuff. So I was raised in the country, showed horses, was always outside riding, training horses. And my first job was cleaning stalls so that I could get my riding lessons for free. So yeah, I was a tomboy. So it's funny how God was training me to do what I do now, because I'm in FFA and 4-H. I was in leadership. So he was prepping me for where I am now. So if you look back on your life and you see that he's always working in your life. We don't always realize he's working in our life, but he was totally from when I was little on up. So.
I do believe that. I believe that he has already, from the time we were in our mother's womb, that he has already placed desires and purpose in our lives. And sometimes it just takes us a while to figure that out, or to listen enough to know. And so it's very, I guess it's very comforting to know that the plans have been laid out, and the journey is there. So even when you feel like you've lost, that he brings it all around to work for where you're at. So I'm glad that you shared that.
Yeah. You're living your calling. God calls you to do things, and you're living in that calling. So
love it, can't believe it, but I can see and hear from your story, he was preparing you for being a leader, and I'm grateful we met. Oh, very sweet.
Oh, that's sweet. Who said that? I don't get to see who it is.
Yeah, I think it might still be Tandra.
Probably Tandra. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. I love her to death. Yeah. I can't wait to see her in August. That's one thing about Mary Kay. We have Mary Kay sisters all over the United States. Tandra lives in New Hampshire, or close to that, because I know her friend does. And I have several friends that live in Mary Kay sisters. So when we meet once a year at our annual seminar, which is in August in Dallas. This year it's in August. Usually it's July or August. And it's like we never even, we're separated. So we only see each other once. Rhode Island, there you are. I knew you were over that way. So, it's wonderful that we get to do that we get to meet women all over the United States, and we're sisters. So Mary Kay sisters. So it's a great camaraderie we have with each other. We build each other up. We don't take each other's customers in Mary Kay. So we're always helping each other, building each other up, and giving each other ideas. So Kendra's amazing at packaging products. So I get a lot of my ideas from her. Actually, I've got a bunch of Mother's Day stuff ready. So anybody who needs something in last minute, and I have it. So, and I love doing that stuff. I love it. It's fun. It's fun to do that. I love what I do, obviously. So
yes. And then, so for 31 years, so you started having children. It's starting your business. What did that look like for you? How did you manage all of that?
I had the 2 boys when I started, and then I had my daughter in the middle. And she's, like I said, she'll be 30. I just, like I said, my husband was gone a lot. So you just make it work. I had sitters. I had some really good sitters lined up. I did a lot of stuff in my home, especially when my daughter was a newborn, because I started when my boys were already, they were toddlers. And I would do things in my home during nap time. As I got older, I would do things with friends of mine who had children, do appointments at their house and bring the kids and they'd play. I would go to McDonald's and the kids would be in the play, yard where I was talking to people, talking to my customers and doing things. Or I do things at night when they were sleeping. And then like I said, I had sitters. So most of the stuff I did at my house, and still today I do that. I do a lot at my home. And with my grandson, I just don't work on those 2 days. I work from my office on those 2 days just because he's a handful at that age and it just wouldn't be possible. But I made it work. When you love something as much as I love my business, you make it work. You work around your schedule. My husband was in and out. So you just, like I said, you make it work. You keep trying different things till you find what works for you. And everybody's different. What worked for me may not work for you, but that's the beauty of the business. We can do whatever we want, when we want, and how much we want. So I just worked with flexibility.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that, because that is the struggle for a lot of moms, trying to juggle children. And then not only that, but you also had a husband that was away a lot. So you had that added, you didn't have a husband that came home at night to, take a few minutes off your plate. And so you were constant going. So that is great that you were able to make it work. And I'm glad that you shared that, because like I said, I know there's a lot of moms out there that just still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. You just got to keep trying different things, different avenues. I'm blessed with a business that I can work from my house at that point. And, obviously I would take them with me on deliveries. I remember one time they had the chicken pox. And so they had to stay, I made deliveries like, stay in the car, don't come out. So I would, I'd be able to see them. It's not like I locked them in the car, but I'd be able to see them walk up to the door, but I couldn't deliver to people that they were out of my site. Or a lot of people picked up too. I still have customers come to my house and pick up things. It's their choice, whatever's easier for them. But I would go to workplaces with the kids and just bring them with me. And they are always very good. They knew better. They had to behave. And I had, when I was on the phone in my office, this was fun. I would have a basket of toys that they could only play with when I was on the phone. So every time I was on the phone, it was like a new toy to them because they don't get to play with it any other time but that. So that kept them busy when I was on the phone, so they wouldn't disturb me. Now, my daughter, she's so funny. When I was working in my office in California, this was years ago, and she was probably a teenager, she used to walk by the door in my office doing funny things while I'm on the phone to get me to laugh. So those are the fun memories you have. And I miss goals. I missed a huge goal one time. And my daughter wrote me a note and put it by my bed. So I went to my bedroom and there was a note there. So they catch what you're doing. by watching you work. So it has inspired her and my kids to work hard. It's okay to work hard. It's good to work hard. Nothing wrong with that. So they've learned by watching me that you're going to miss goals. You're going to brush yourself off. You're going to pick yourself up and you're going to do it again. And you're going to do it again and do it again, do it again until you reach that goal. You don't give up because things don't work out. So that's what they've learned by watching me. And her writing that note, I still have that note, saying, Mom, you're going to do this. You're great. You know, you're going to reach your goals. And then when I earned my first car, my oldest son, I earned my first car because I've earned two. I earned my first car. My son goes, well, it's about time.
Ah,
So then you get those.
that's such a great motivator.
It is.
Yeah.
They see me, and you know, he's in law enforcement, so I really believe that's his calling. And people ask me all the time, how do you deal with that? I said, well, that's his calling. God has called him to do that, so God will protect him in that. That's my belief. My husband was a pilot, is a pilot, and same thing. You know, if that's your calling, you do it, and God watches over you and protects you. He does that anyway, but you know, you can't worry about those things.
Yeah. The kids are the greatest motivators.
They are.
Even when they don't
a couple too.
yeah. Even when they don't speak those things, but I think that's very sweet that your daughter wrote you that note. But even so, just when you have them around and just the love, it is very motivating to be the best version of you and to do your best at all times, right?
Well, when I became a sales director, there's a qualification period that you go through. And I was in my third month. It's a 4-month process. My daughter was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes. So we were at the hospital for like 5 days. And, you know, my business totally, you know, took the back seat because we were going through all this thing. So those of you who've dealt with this know it's very, very traumatic at the beginning. I mean, her blood sugar was over 500. It's supposed to be in the 1s to 150. And we were in the hospital. She was in ICU, and I was there with her. And my director called all my people and worked with them, took over everything. And when we got home, it was still a learning process because we had to do shots and all that. So when diet and big learning process. And what I was telling myself, this could be the best excuse ever for me to stop. I mean, and nobody would blame me. But no, what am I teaching her by doing that? That you're going to let this condition stop you from doing whatever you want to do. So I went ahead and finished. Of course, we finished. And I became a director, but within the next 2 months. But that's what you're teaching your children by keeping going, you know, keep it going. Don't give up until you finish.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that story. I think Tandra does. She may not though.
That's beautiful. I'm really glad you shared that story because I think a lot of moms can relate to that, even if it wasn't juvenile diabetes. But when our children have something so big going on, it can feel like our world, is stopping, and yet you have to still find a way to keep moving, and you did. And what an inspiration you have been for your daughter. Now, when she got older, did she also join in with you with Mary Kay, or did she help you out?
She did for a short time. It wasn't for her, and it's not for everybody, but she did for a short time. But she's very successful in her own career, which she loves, and I'm happy for her that she loves what she does. She's a project manager for a company, so she loves what she does. She gets to work from home also, which is kind of funny that she picked something that she could work from home. But like I said, she did it, and she did it for the wrong reasons. And she did it just wasn't for her. So I'm glad she gave it a shot though. At least she tried it and found out it wasn't for her. And it's not for everybody, but everybody deserves a chance at something. So, you know, you don't know unless you try. That's what I always say. And if it's not for you, that's fine, but at least you know for sure. And she knows for sure. And my daughter-in-law is actually a Mary Kay too, which is fun. I don't know if you knew that, but she is. And then that's the only family members I have that are in Mary Kay. My sister-in-laws know, but my daughter and daughter-in-law. So it's a company. It's amazing that this company you want to share with other people. You love it so much, and you know what a great company it is. You want to share it with other people. Of course, they all use Mary Kay. My daughter does. Actually, she'll text me all the time, Mom, send me more, you know. It's like, when are you going to start paying for it? That's what I asked her. But yeah, she loves it. And then her husband uses it too. He uses the men's line. So yeah, it's fun that we can do that.
It is fun that you guys can do that together, and that you have been able to be such a great example as they see that you've been successful. I'm sure it's very inspiring for them to keep going as well. So you look way young.
It's Mary Kay.
Well, I was going to ask, yeah.
I've been using it since I was 21. So like, well, maybe 22, 23, because it was right after we got married. So yeah, I've been using it a long time before I started being a consultant.
Now, I'm curious. So when your husband met you, you weren't really wearing makeup. You were more of a tomboy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when you flipped that switch and said, guess what? How did he respond to that?
He was happy because I found something I love. And yeah, I look better now than I did then. A lot better now than I did then. And I'm more confident, a lot more confident, more straightforward, because I am more confident in my life and who I am. And I know that comes with age sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. And I would not be the woman I am today if it wasn't for my business and Mary Kay. And Mary Kay Ash's philosophies. Her autobiography is amazing. She came from nothing. She was very poor, but her mother was a very positive influence on her. So yeah, you need to read it because it's very, very good. And she was one of the first female entrepreneurs ever to do this. So, and here we are 60 years later, and her grandson is actually in the company. He started off young. Now they don't have to work, the Mary Kay family, obviously, but he chose to get his business degree. His dad said, I want you to go work in corporate America for a while because I want you to see what it's like. So he made him go get a job in corporate America. And then he came to the company and he's like, oh, this is, so much better. So then he came with Mary Kay and he started off at the bottom too and worked his way up. He earned every position he got. And now he is the CEO. I don't know the actual title, but he's in the United States. So he's CEO. We are in like 36 different countries. So he just got that position because the current one just retired. So he took over, but he had to earn the position. So, and one of the things Mary Kay is big on is keeping the philosophies of faith first, family second, career third. That is huge. They talk about it all the time. So definitely want to keep the integrity of the company.
Yes. And obviously it has been the key for success. And not only Mary Kay is successful on so many levels, but also as a multi-level marketing company, it really still leads the way after 60 years.
Right. Yeah. It's actually dual level, but yeah.
Oh,
because we all get our products from the same wholesale and sell for the same retail.
I see.
So
Wow.
that's why it's dual level. You don't earn more commission by being in the company on your product. Everybody from day one buys a product the same wholesale.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is very different than some of the other companies out there.
Yeah, very different. Mary Kay was a smart woman. She knew that would be much better for everybody, that we all get at the same position. And then you work your way up a position into leadership by helping other women build their businesses. So it doesn't help them or help you if you don't help them build their business. And I'm lucky to be inspired by several mentors in Mary Kay. So that are like the number one in our area, national, is one of my mentors. And then our sales director, who I've known on my whole adult life, pretty much, for 31 years. So I'm blessed to have these women in my life to mentor me and to help me develop the skills I need to be a good mentor to my children, my family, the women I'm around, whether I work with them or not.
So I'm curious, there's a lot of women who have joined Mary Kay over the years to start a business. but some are not as successful as others. So what would you say is the key to becoming successful with Mary Kay? It's, obviously it's not just joining in and getting a few friends. There obviously is a little more to it.
There is. It's treat it like a business. You treat it like a business, it will be a business. You treat it like a hobby, it'll be a hobby. Now, some women choose to do that and they want that, and that's fine. If that's what their goals are, if that's what they want, just a little mad money, something because they already have another job, or they're a full-time mom and they just want to have something fun in their life. If that's their goal, that's great. They can do that. That's totally their option. I did that for a long time. And then I moved up to leadership later. But some people go to leadership right away. But being consistent and treating it like a business is key. And treat your customers like gold, because they are. They're very important. If it wasn't for my customers, I wouldn't have this business. And I appreciate every single one of them. And hopefully I help them with their decision making on what's best for them. I'm not going to recommend something for them that does not work for them or they don't need. That's another key. I'm not going to say, oh, just get this to get more money. No, I want you to get what's right for you. Because I have women that don't wear a lot of makeup as customers, or I call my low maintenance women, and that's fine. That's their choice. So I don't even go there. It's like, no, if you want something that's low maintenance, this is what you need. If you're more of a glamour girl, then this is, you can use all this. So it depends on that person. So it's the beauty of it. It's about relationships, building relationships. And I've had those relationships with some of my customers for 31 years. So I know their family. It's great that we get to do that.
So out of all the products that you have used, do you have a favorite one?
So many. So many. Of course, the skincare. I love the skincare. I use the Voluform skincare line, which is for everybody. I love it. I know you use parts of that too. So I love that. I love the body care, satin hands, satin lips, and especially where we live. Oh my gosh, we're so dry here. So that is a lifesaver. All the glamour. I have favorite colors, of course. I have favorite eye colors that I love, favorite lip colors. And I sell them all because everybody's different. Every shade's different. And the retinol. Oh, the clinical solutions. I love the clinical solutions line, which that's our line that's a dermacosmetic. So it goes down deeper into the dermis layer of the skin. That's why it's called dermacosmetic. So the boosters, they're a new product. And our scientific officers are amazing. Lucy Gilday is our chief scientific officer, and she is so good at what she does. And they're always bringing out the new line, because if you rest on your laurels, then you're not going to get anywhere. So we always bringing new things in, making things better. And of course, science gets better and better. But there's too many to count. All that behind me.
Well, and I did start using the skincare, I guess it was maybe 3 months ago, something like that. I ran out of mine and decided I was going to go ahead and try. And I will say at first, like the first 2 weeks, and you warned me that the first 2 weeks your skin has to adapt. And so I've battled with slight acne all my life, which I always thought was strange. After being an adult, you think that the acne would just, not be there. But anyways, and I switched, and the 2 weeks was definitely a little rough because I started breaking out a little bit more. So I wasn't sure, but I was like, what Christel told me, give it 2 weeks, give it 2 weeks. So I did. And then after 2 weeks, my skin cleared up. And ever since then, I've hardly had any breakouts. If I have, it's just maybe one minor area, and then it's gone really quickly. So it has been pretty amazing. I'm like, wow, that's the first time that's really happened. And I've tried numerous products, very expensive products, other products that, had things going on. So I can definitely attest that the skincare line has been phenomenal for sure. My question to you is, so, as we get older, as especially as women, as we approach 50 and beyond, we do seem to get a little more wrinkles and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And so many women, will do maybe Botox or other options out there. Do you find that the women who do Mary Kay, who use Mary Kay, still have to get Botox, or is it at a less frequency? I mean, what is your experience in that?
I haven't run into that much. I know there are some of my customers that choose to do the Botox for like the deep lines that they've had, like genetic stuff. My daughter has that. She has one that goes right across here. It's my youngest son does too. Of course, I don't have it, but thank God. But I have find some people do in certain areas, but it's the texture of their skin changes, and the hydration changes, and the wrinkles do fade. The only way to totally get rid of wrinkles is by, cosmetic surgery and all that, but it does repair. The repair line does reverse the clock. But I have had people say that they don't do as much. They don't need it as much anymore. But they feel better about themselves by doing it. That's totally their choice, but that doesn't happen very often. Most of them just do skincare and the boosters and the retinol. Retinol's huge.
The retinol's a big one. So
retinol is the gold standard of skincare. If you look it up, retinol is the best you can get. What retinol does is it goes down deeper to the deeper layers of the skin and helps the age spots, the luminosity of your skin. It helps exfoliate. So it goes down to the dermis level versus just the top. And it is the gold standard. It's been around a long time. Some people think it's new. No, it's not. It's been around for years. It's just us being able to buy it over the counter is a fairly new thing. And ours actually got the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. So I don't know if you know what that is, but Good Housekeeping comes in and clinically tests all the skincare lines, not just ours, but everybody. And whatever that line says is what actually that product does, then they approve it. So that line does have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, our clinical solutions retinol system. And it is a 2-step system. So it's very unique because I don't know if you've used retinol before. It can be very, very abrasive, not abrasive, but very, makes your skin look very red. So it is very irritating sometimes. And it is a pure retinol system, 0.5. And the retinol system we have has a calming milk with it. So you start off slowly. You started using once a week at night only. You never want to use retinol during the day. So at night only, you mix your retinol with the calming milk to soothe the skin. You only use it once a week. And then you up it, you separate the two once a week, and then so on and so forth. And pretty soon you're using it every day with no issues. So when you do that, you don't get the redness. And I'm very sensitive to product because just me, it's just who I am. And it's annoying, but I can use the retinol with no issues because like I said, it can make you turn very red, and my skin turns red super easy because I'm so fair. But yeah, no problem at all because I did the retinization process. And when you're one of my customers, then I help you go through that process and teach you how to do it all. And there's a tracking sheet in the box. Mary Kay knows women. They know we need it written down. So just like the skincare systems have directions in the box, and they come with the box or a bag, depending on which system you get. So they know we need it written down, and we need directions. So that's what we do.
That's great. And it's a easy to read, easy to follow. So Mother's Day is coming up.
Yep. Yay.
And so what do we need to get for our mothers?
I have some great sets actually right here on my table, and I wasn't counting on this. I just did these this year. This has a body care in it. So, and I can customize it, do whatever you want me to do. I can do it and wrap it up for you, and I'll deliver it to you too, or you can pick it up if you don't want your mom to know. But for the women in your life, it's great. So this is our berry vanilla line, and it's a body care system. So it has a gel and a lotion. And then you heard me talk about satin hands. And I did one with satin hands. And this is a system that you do to get your hands nice and soft. I actually use my satin hands in the shower, and I do my feet, my hands at the same time, which is fun. But I can do whatever you want. Just call me and let me know what you're thinking, and I'll put it together. I sold one to a customer whose mom is a customer. So I helped her pick out what her mom likes. I could do gift cards too. Or I can go to a local establishment like one of our people at SMP, Hello Gorgeous, get a gift card from them, put it in the package, and put product around it. So that's a fun thing. So we support each other. SMP is our networking group, in case you didn't know.
Yes, yes. And it's been a great networking group for.
Oh, it's fun. Fun people. A lot of fun people, very supportive of each other.
Yes, very much so. Well, that's great to know about the Mother's Day specials that you've got going on. And yeah, so guys, do not forget your moms.
Or your daughter-in-laws.
Husband.
Your daughter.
Forget your wives too.
I know.
Not just your mother, your wives too.
And they'll wait to the last minute because they always do.
Yes. Hey, you've been warned, fellas.
Don't forget. And if your wife is anything like me, she's probably sent their husband tons of things.
Yes,
this is what I want.
Lots of ideas. Yes. Sometimes you have to just be very, very specific, and that's okay.
That's okay. You get what you want that way.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, this has definitely been a lot of fun. I really would like to hear, out of all the things, I mean, you've obviously have traveled to so many places, seen so many things, you've done a lot of things. I mean, in your travels, do you have a favorite place that you've been?
Oh, yes, Vienna. We went to Vienna. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. That was on our way to Greece. So you're like, I like Vienna better. Greece was beautiful too. My husband's family lives in Greece. So we went out there for his brother's wedding, which was exactly like the movie, I'm telling you. Wedding. But we stopped through Vienna, had a long layover, only had a day. And oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. We want to go back so we can spend more time there, but just beautiful. But the Mary Kay trips, they just went to Greece on a cruise. This year, I think they're going to Rome. I'm not sure, but they do trips every year.
Wow.
You can earn. So, and it's 5-star. I mean, you don't touch your luggage.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you go on these trips every year?
I have not qualified for a trip yet. I'm on my 5th diamond ring, and I've had a couple cars, but haven't qualified the trip yet. But that's the goal, to eventually do that. So it'd be fun.
All right, everybody. Let's help Christel get this trip.
Yeah. One step at a time. Diamond ring.
Diamond ring. Okay.
That ends in June. That's the end of June.
Well, and certainly this is a company that knows women, because the pink Cadillac. And is it really pink?
It is really pink. It's like a champagne pink.
Okay.
It's not Pepto-Bismol pink like it used to be, but it's pink, and they pay for everything: tax, title, license. Now there are 4 cars in Mary Kay. The first is the Chevy Malibu. Actually, I'm sorry, 3. The first is the Chevy Malibu. The second is the Chevy Equinox, and the Cadillac is the cream of the crop. Now, the women who have a Cadillac, which our director has a Cadillac, they make over $100,000 a year. Nice. So they're in upper leadership with the company. I've had the Malibu level and the Equinox level, and they pay everything. It's a lease. They lease it for you for 2 years. And then in 2 years, you do the same thing you did to get it in the first place. You turn in the old one and get a new one. Our directors had, I don't even know how many cars, I think in the 20s.
Okay.
3 cars to Mary Kay. And if you don't want the car, you can take the cash option, which is car's better, but you get the cash option.
Car's a great advertisement too. You drive around, you're like,
yes.
What?
And people ask me all the time, do you have a Cadillac? No, I haven't had a Cadillac, but I've had 2 other cars. Oh, really? Yeah. But currently I don't have a car, but that's the goal, to get another car. And that's the beauty of the business. You can do what you want. Take a break, go back, do whatever. I'm done taking a break.
That's great. So what are you most grateful for, Christel, in your life?
Oh, I'm just grateful for my Mary Kay friends, the mentors I've had in my life, and the company that puts God first. That's amazing to me. So, and my family and what it's done for my family. So I'm a big family person. So all the moves that we made over the years and me being able to take my business with me and keep my sanity over the years and earn all the extra things, paying, for gymnastics and, expensive all that stuff is when you're raising children. So it's been a blessing. God's really blessed my life with this company, and I'm so happy I'm in it.
Oh, so glad to hear that. So you are on the American Dream Maker show, and we are all about having American Dream Makers like yourself on here to inspire, to impact, and transform, which hearing your story, you certainly have done that over the years and continue to do that. So can you tell us what the American Dream means to you and how can you help others achieve it as well?
The American dream means to me is by living your calling, what God's called you to do. And that's every dream, not just for America. So whatever God's calling you to do that. And you'll know, and inspire other people, whether you're in a store calling people by name. I always want to do that when I'm talking to someone at the register. I thank them by their name. Be nice to people, inspire people. Just remember, if they're mean to you, you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what's happening. I mean, you never know. So be nice no matter what. Inspire others to be great, because it doesn't take anything away from you. It just makes you a better person by inspiring others, and live your calling.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Beautifully said. Thank you, Christel. I am so blessed to know you and so grateful to have you in my life. And just you have wonderful energy about you, and you're just a very loving, kind person. And we need more of you in the world, more people like you in the world. And so thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and have a wonderful Mother's Day yourself. And I hope you get pampered. I hope the children remember, and I hope your husband brings you something special to, or treats you like the queen you are. Oh, yes, a ray of sunshine for sure. She is.
Tandra. I know that's Tandra. I love her.
Yes. And she obviously loves you very much. So, yes, we're happy you were able to join us today too, Tandra. I really appreciate you for sure.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So you guys definitely share this out. Christel is an amazing, amazing woman. If you even watch this on the replay, let us know. And if you have any questions at all, please be sure to reach out to Christel. Here is her website, marykay.com/Christel A. And she's going to get you taken care of and get those gifts for Mother's Day. You have a few days left here, not too long though. So make sure you grab, the gifts that you need. And well, I'll just say goodbye for now, but I'll see you soon. Okay. Thanks again, Christel.
Bye.
You guys, thank you so much for being here on American Dream Makers. Yes, please share this out. Christel is a phenomenal woman, as you could hear, and we're just so blessed to have her in our community here in Prescott. Thank you again. And tomorrow, join us back here on American Dream Makers. We have another guest joining us, so you don't want to miss that. So I will say goodbye for now, and have a wonderful, blessed day.